up, everybody? It's your man, Chris Thorne, the host of the Chris Thorne Show. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching my content. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, got a viewer on the line, somebody who watch my videos from time to time. Can't say they just really catch everything that I do, but I do appreciate the fact that this person does come to watch my videos, or if I do put up a video, if they got a comment on it, y'all know me, I'm humble. I appreciate anybody's comment. And for those of y'all who've seen the video that I have done, I did a video about are we as blacks are color struck. And one of the comments that I saw, kind of caught my attention, and they said, hey, this is how I feel, and I don't mind talking to you about how I feel. So I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea, because I told y'all what I did versus a dark-skinned woman versus a light-skinned woman. And hell, I can go on for days talking about the shit that I've been through with a light-skinned woman. But to hear it come from a dark-skinned woman herself, I think this would be excellent. We talked about going live, but we didn't think it was a good idea because she said, I will respond to your chat. So we didn't think it was a good idea. So we're doing this behind-the-scenes talk. We're going to hear her views, and I'm going to load this up later, and y'all give y'all views of what y'all think y'all have heard, and I didn't mind giving her a voice. So without further ado, I'll let her tell her name if she wants to. Hey, chick, how you doing, babe?
Hey, what's good? Glad we can do this, and thanks for having me. Anybody have any questions afterward? My name is just Elm City.
Okay. All right. So you saw my video, and as a matter of fact, well, nah, I ain't gonna do that. Everybody's seen the video or whatnot. If y'all haven't seen the video that I did that she's been about to talk about, I will put the link in the description box, and y'all can go see it for yourself. So, all right, dear. So you saw that I did the video called "Are We as Black Men Color Struck?" And I gave my thoughts. What I thought about the situation. You heard me as a light-skinned brother. I like I said, I don't have a problem with a dark-skinned person, but I noticed, when I was growing up, reflecting on my life growing up dealing with women, I would see myself giving them a harder time versus I would do a light-skinned woman. But if I saw your comment, I think you said that we are color struck. So I want to hear your thoughts on the video that you saw, and you want to share some stories of things you dealt with, hey, feel free. Speak your mind. You ain't got to hold back. Speak your mind.
All right. Well, first of all, I gotta appreciate you as a black man, whether you were light skinned or dark skinned, for just coming forth and speaking the truth, because a lot of black men do not like getting called out for being color struck. Mm-hmm. So I could appreciate that coming from any black man about whether they used to be color struck or used to be so hung up on light skin or non-black women in their skin tone, or because they're a certain color, or they're mixed, or they're from some other type of race that automatically makes them beautiful. I appreciate black men being honest.
Okay.
And that's exactly what your video was just basically about. It was about you being honest and you telling your viewers, whoever's watching, your point of view as you see it, and allowing other people to join in and speak their piece. I really do appreciate that.
That means a lot to me. Appreciate it.
Coming from a dark-skinned perspective, I can totally relate to what you're saying. I never treated anybody based on their color, based on their skin color differently, but I myself got treated differently based on my skin color from black men. And it's not noticeable. I guess maybe when you're like a teenager and you're just starting out dating and getting to know people in general, you don't really notice it at first. Mm-hmm. But as you get older and you start to experience more with different people in different places and things, and of course, social media, you really do start to look at how people behave, not just with dating and getting with somebody, but just people, in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I can honestly say, yes, there are people who are indeed black people, excuse me, who are indeed color struck. And it's weird because colorism or shadeism, it is birthed from racism. It's birthed from racism. It's birthed from lighter skinned or people of a lighter complexion thinking that they are better than those who are darker.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it bugs me out because the fact that if a white person says, you know, oh, dark skin is not beautiful, or I don't date dark skinned black men or women, black people would freak out. Like they would, if that person had a Twitter or Instagram, they would blow it up, the situation. They would go
Mm-hmm.
ham on this person, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when a black person says it, it's completely and totally normal. And that's what bugs me out because, well, a black person being color struck is birthed from white people um, programming racism and self hate into black people. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's okay for a black person to feel that way and we want to go in on white people. Okay, yes, I always want to go to the source, and that's how you really extinguish a fire. You go to the source, you don't go to the smoke. But at the same time, you can't play both sides. It's not okay for a black person to say that just because some white person hundreds of years ago programmed their ancestors to think so. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird how a lot of black men and some color struck black women, that I've seen on YouTube can get away with saying things like that and teaching their children to say things like that. As a matter of fact, there's been plenty of YouTubers, and I'll show you the video. I'll drop the link in your comment section or whatever, where there's been plenty of YouTubers, and they're mostly biracial, who have said the most horrible things about dark skinned black people and
Let
were
me let me
called
let me
out.
let me, let me stop real quick. Cause I like how you doing that, saying YouTubers. That's the way I want you to do it. We're gonna keep strictly on the topic. We ain't gonna drop no name. This conversation gonna be strictly between me and you. So I like what you're doing right there. Keep doing it. Go
Right, no,
ahead.
no, 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 no name, no name.
Okay.
But it's just a video of them,
mm,
perpetuating colorism. But black people coddle these people. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's okay for them to say that, but had they been white or some other race, it would not be okay. And me as a dark skinned black woman, I've experienced that from all different races. You understand? Like I don't put one over the other, or I don't, make it seem like it's less of a problem when black people do it, because it really is a big problem, because we are a race of people who produce dark skinned people. And so to hate what you produce, or to hate yourself, and to hate what your mom and dad and their parents and their parents and their parents produced,
mm,
that is a deep rooted self hatred problem. I don't think it should be brushed over lightly. Like many of the things we've been programmed with, we let it slide under the rug because they're black. I don't get that. I don't appreciate that. I objectify that. I'm against that. That's very offensive to me. I don't play the colorism game,
thank
especially
you.
coming from a
Thank you.
person.
Thank you. Thank you. Neither do I either. Because when I do my videos, just like the show I did the other night on Facebook, and I'm thinking about if I'm going to upload it or not on YouTube. I did the one about the guy who got shot over the parking space. And one of the things I said in the show was, I was like, y'all, for those y'all who watch me, y'all know I don't like to play the race card, because
Right.
I don't like to play the race card at all. I think we get a little bit too out of hand playing this race card thing, because everything doesn't have to do anything about somebody being racist. And just like I posted on Facebook today about that, you know, me personally, the man should not have been shot. You know, I feel like he was backing back, and I feel like he was neutralizing himself as a threat. So I didn't feel like he deserved to be shot. He was bagging back. Now I get it. I don't condone him putting his hands on a man. He should not have done that. You can defend your family members or your girl without putting your hand on somebody. But you know, I mean, he came and he pushed him down hard as fuck. You know, and a lot of people saying, you know, he caused his own death. I mean, I get it. You know, I get it from their point of view. But you know, I just don't feel like that. You know? I mean, both of them really to me was out of line, you know, because of the story that I read was the guy who got upset, the white guy that got upset, he was upset because they parked in a handicap spot. And what I'm hearing now is he been arguing with a lot of folks out there about that handicap spot. You know, so he came and started the issue with them, and, you know, the guy came out and pushed the fuck out of him. Then the guy pulled out a gun and, you know, somebody lost their life over a damn parking spot. So, like I told him, you know, I don't like to use the race card, but you have to think in this situation, could that play a major part up in it? So I'm glad you say that. So me and you thinking like on that, you know, I hate playing the race card, but go ahead, dear. Go ahead.
Right. You know, it a lot of, you know, it's that the colorism, it does stem from racism. That can't be argued, you know. But it's just weird that because a person is black, you get away with it, as far as, you know, my point of view. And there is a lot of negative stigmas attached to skin color and attached to race too. So it's like, how are we ever going to break these chains if we keep looking up excuses for people?
Absolutely. I agree with that.
And that's just how I feel. I don't have anything against a preference, what a person prefer dating, who a person prefers dating. But it's the problem I have is the standards of beauty. As far as black men deeming anything light to be beautiful, or a standard of beauty to the black race, when the majority of black people are not light skinned with green hazel eyes and curly hair. You know, and that's what really I would say provokes dark skinned black women to go out here and start bleaching their skin and things like that, because they want to be, you know, they want to look attractive, you know. And but like I said, I don't have a problem with someone preferencing anything. It's when you believe that that person is better in any shape, form, or fashion because of their skin tone, that is the issue that I have.
Okay. Well, I would say this right here, and I guess I can speak for myself too, because, you know, back in the day, my school days, I don't know about you, but back in the day in my school days, you know, a lot of light-skinned females, you know, they would have the beauty in the body, but the attitude would be shitty as fuck. I mean, shitty as fuck, you know, but we let them get away with it because they fine. Just like I said, you know, and they say us light-skinned men, you know, we got some shit-ass attitude, you know, and I agree with that in a sense, because I could be a motherfucker myself, but it all depends on what it is, and it all depends on what you have done to me, you know. But like I said in that video, you know, that light-skinned chick did some of the most fucked up shit to me. Like I said, I could tell you stories for days about what that chick did to me, but can't explain to you why I kept fucking with that motherfucker. I would stop, I be doing good, I see this motherfucker, she looking good one day, I want it back. You know, I don't know if she necessarily felt the same about me, but I would see her and I wanted it back. And we'd get good again, she'd do some dumb shit again, I leave her alone, and it was just a repeated cycle. So when that final thing she did, when I said about the vehicle, that was one of the low down and shit that she ever had done to me, and that broke the camel back right there. It wasn't no coming back from that one. It wasn't no coming back from that one, you know. That was low down as fuck. But, you know, when I sat back and thought about it, I said, you know, I could sit here and be mad at her all day, but really that was my fault, because I let her beauty and sex and everything in between get in the way of what was healthy for me. Because we both can agree by what I said in that video. I was in a toxic relationship with that woman. It was toxic as fuck, you know? And that's why when I speak, do the videos, do my shows, I speak on a lot of this stuff because I've been through it. I've been through it. So who would be more perfect to talk about experience than a person who has been through that experience? And I have. And like I said in the video, now versus a dark-skinned woman, she probably even got that far. She would have got that far, but why? Why would I not let her get that far? But I let a light-skinned chick do whatever the fuck she wanted to me. But I want you to understand. But I want you to understand at the same time, though. You know, I was still young, and I guess had some growing up to do. Now anybody can get it. You do some dumb shit, anybody can get it. I don't give a fuck. I find you either black or red. Anybody can get it now, and you know, and that's one of the reasons. Like I said, I did a video. I just started reflecting on that, and I see a lot of the guys, you know, be light skinned women, and it's just like, you know, hey, we want to keep them around. Those be some of the evilest motherfuckers on this earth, you know. So, yeah,
right.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, though. If you got some more you want to say, go ahead, dear. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add to that you really can't tell a light-skinned woman that her behavior and personality stinks, because she just won't believe that it does. Mm-hmm. She believes her skin complexion makes everything else irrelevant. You know what I mean? It's like, if all the majority of black men see is her skin complexion, then everything else is invisible. And that's basically what it is. They don't have to have good personalities. They don't have to have, feminine behavior or just good behavior as a human being in general, because she knows that her skin color is going to carry her as far as men is concerned.
Right.
She knows she's going to get away with cold-blooded murder. She knows she doesn't have to have any good redeeming qualities about her once she understands that her light skin is going to get her in a position where none of that matters, basically.
And you know, and I like that what you said, because like I said, another thing in the video, you know, and ladies and gentlemen, you know, if y'all listening, you know, I will put the link to this video, what we talking about, in the description box, and you go look at it yourself, and it got a lot of response. And when you like, it got a lot of response. For the most part, you know, you got a lot of people saying, yeah, I think y'all are color struck, and you got one person said, you know, this is a good question, and I will bring this up in the show that I'm gonna do. I don't know when I'm getting a chance to do that show. I mean, I be so busy, you know. I be saying I'll do something this evening, do something that evening. So like last night, you supposed to do this last night, but I got stuck at work, you know. So I can understand a lot of content creators who take it kind of serious and who enjoy doing this. I can understand the struggles of promising people something but not be able to do it because you stuck at work or something comes up. Lord behold, you know, a death in the family. That's the hardest right there, you know. But you know, but get back to what we was talking about, you know, and that's another thing I mentioned, you know, because you know, a lot of red skin, light skinned ladies, or high yellow, however you want to call it, again, they got the shapes. Most of them got the shapes, you know. They got the tits, they got the ass, you know, and don't have to put on too much makeup. And, you know, we go nuts over there, especially a high yellow chick. We go nuts over this shit. Oh, hell yeah. I got to have that motherfucker on my team. That motherfucker fine in a motherfucker. But you see a dark-skinned chocolate woman, she all right. Now, don't get it twisted for y'all who listening. I'm not saying dark-skinned women can't be fine. I'd be lying if I say that shit, you know, because I think Serena is not a bad-looking woman, you know. Janet Jackson, oh my God, you know she's beautiful to the soul. Who else can I bring up?
You got Kelly Rowland.
Kelly Rowland's a beautiful chick. She's a beautiful chick. Beyonce, a beautiful chick. What, is it fair for me to bring up Beyonce? Because she's not dark skinned. Is it fair? Is it fair for me to bring up Beyonce? No, she's not dark skinned. Who else? Gabrielle Union, you know, beautiful woman, a beautiful woman. Patti LaBelle, a beautiful woman. You know, you got a lot of dark-skinned women that are beautiful, but again, you know, it's just a lot of us, you know, especially probably light-skinned men, we would look at them, but we won't give them the hard eye as we will for a lighter skinned woman. I got a friend right now that stay around the corner from me, and I never forget that day we was talking about something, and we was talking about white women or something, and she bust out saying, "You color struck ass nigga." I said, hey, "I'm not color struck, you know what I mean? Shit." We used to meeting something that just what you used to meeting with. It's not saying that I prefer to have somebody light skinned because I'm like this. If you dark skinned and we down. But if I'm used to meeting people who are lighter or whatnot, then they're just what it is. If I'm used to meet people who is older, then that's what it is. Lord knows if I'm used to meeting people, which people brought that to my attention, my life. You always meet somebody that got kids. I'm like, hey, how much percentage can I dodge it? You know, I mean, shit, how can I dodge that? Pretty much almost every woman has a child. You know, I don't have no problem with no woman who got a child. But in these days and age, you got to be careful dating women who have children. All this fuck shit that's going on. Oh, golly, you got to be careful dealing with women and their children, you know. So, you know, and like I said, it was just interesting that they came to my head and they did a video and the response that all of y'all have given. So let me ask you this as a dark-skinned woman. Mm-hmm. Let me see, how can I ask you this? I did a show about rejection. What would be some of the rejection excuse that you get if you ever try to holler at a guy? What would be some kind of rejection excuses that you get? And do you think it had anything to do with your skin tone, the reason why you got rejected?
I never really got excuses. I've just had dudes, as far as the ones that I came across that didn't like me because I was dark skinned, they just usually would say, "Oh, I don't date dark skinned women." It's never really an excuse.
Oh wow. Wow, okay.
And it was one excuse. This was when I had a little weight on me, and this dude said, "Oh, you're a little overweight. That my type," which is fine. But then I seen him because he's really cool with a cousin of mine, and then I seen him with a light skinned girl, which is fine, but she was more overweight than I was. And so I'm like, huh?
Wow. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I didn't even bother to ask him what was that about. I was just like, okay, dude, I already know, and I'm not even gonna trip. I was just like, the way he I mean, I may be not per word that he said, but he basically made it seem like big women or chunky, chubby women ain't his thing, which is fine. But you come up like some months later, I see you with this woman that's way bigger than me. it was just so, it was funny, but also eye-opening.
It's funny you say that because I got he's a play cousin, he's not my blood cousin. He was like that a long time. I don't fuck with him no more, but a long time ago, he said to me, and I bullshit you not, these was his exact words. He said, "Man, I want you to hook me up with a female, but every female you talk to is big." And when he said that, like, okay, so when he said that, apparently he had a problem with thick chicks. And like you said, your preference is your preference. So how about it might be the same year, I don't remember, but later on down the road, I'll say that this fool brought a chick over my house, thick as all outside. I mean, she wasn't overweight or nothing, but she was thick. I mean, thicker than any woman I used to see him fuck with. And I said, this comes from the same man that says that every woman I talk to, they big. Well, look what we got here, Charlie. What we got here? So now he had an excuse as to why he was dating that big woman. But I'm going to tell you what it was. He was one of the type that really didn't have shit. And staying at home with mama all the time and never just really had his own place. So what had happened here was, I think he did that out of desperation. because every female he had, don't get me wrong now, when he gets a female, he had got some bad ones. Oh my God, he had some badass females. And I used to be like, in a man in your situation, how the fuck you get these chicks? But hey, it is what it is. But to see him downgrade like that, I believe the females who are more attractive was seeing that either he really wasn't trying to put nothing on the table or he couldn't put nothing on the table. So pretty much all the fine ones backed up. But you got one that's probably like somewhat in the same boat as you, but she probably doing just a little bit better than you. You at this point now, you're gonna take what you get. And I believe that what it was with him, he just took what he got. In which I don't give a damn who you are, male or female, you don't lower your standards for nobody. You don't lower your standards. If you got standards, you stick with your standards, because when you lower your standards, you would never be happy with the person that you with, that you lower your standards for. Would you agree or disagree?
Say that last part again. You were breaking up a little bit.
I said when you lower your standards to be with somebody that that's not your standard, then a relationship will not work because you lower your standard to be with somebody that's not in your standard. Do you agree with that or do you disagree with that?
Oh, yeah. No. I agree. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's what I believe what happened with him. He kind of lowered his standards because, when nobody else is really fucking with him like that. Like I said, I'm not hating on him, do what you do. But, don't, come at me talk about, I talk to thick chicks, then turn around, you doing the same shit that I'm doing, So, it's all good. I don't have a problem with thick chicks, but the thing is, I want to encourage them to stay big because one of the biggest things we got in the black community is obesity, So if we are together and we put our heads together and say, hey, man, let's go hit the gym, baby, you know what I'm saying? I want to be healthy. I want you to be healthy, you know what I'm saying? We the boot thing and all that shit. Let's do it. But I'm not going to tell you, yeah, girl, I like that side. I want you to be big. I want you to be bigger. Keep on eating. Nah, I ain't finna do that. Because I want to enjoy you. If I'm going to be with you, I want to enjoy you all the time that I can until death do us apart.
Right, absolutely. And that's another thing too. A lot of guys who married or in a long-term relationship with a woman who gains a lot of weight, whether she's thick, fat, or whatever, they'll lie to her. They'll say, baby, you're sexy, you look good, you don't have to lose weight. Meanwhile, he barely paying her any mind as far as romance, like, taking her out and having sex and things like that. And then you come to find out he's entertaining a woman that's smaller than she is, So it is about honesty with that as well,
Right. I agree with you on that. So let me ask you this right here now. I want to go back to what you said. The guy told you that I don't talk to dark-skinned women. And when he told you that, you as a dark-skinned woman, did they make you feel any type of way? What was your thought process when you heard that?
I've heard it, I wouldn't say like 1,000 times, but I've heard it pretty much a lot. And when you first hear it, when it first was said to me, I didn't really pay it any mind. It didn't really bother me. I didn't think about it much. But then when it kept happening, that's when it really did start to bother me. It doesn't now. But I would say in my late teens, early 20s, when you're out dating and, just trying to experiment, have a little fun, see what's going on out here and things like that, it does get to you.
I get it.
And
I get it.
Say that again, hon?
No, I'm saying I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's also because a lot of Black parents they don't really break down colorism to their kids. Me and a lot of my dark skinned friends, we don't really. Our parents they never really tell us anything about this until we may bring it to their attention when we get older, but. A lot of the times when we're young or when we're starting to, get out here and date and stuff, it's really not talked about.
Right.
Or even as a kid, because I know I've always been made fun of because of my dark skin. Your parents, they think of it as just harmless, kids just being kids, but it's deeper than that because I've seen a light skinned child get picked on
Yeah,
because of their skin color.
exactly. I seen a video the other day. Somebody had posted in my Facebook group, and I seen it somewhere else too. There were some kids, and it hurts my heart when I see shit like this. There was some kids out there, and there was a dark skinned little girl, and there was a light skinned little girl sitting on top of, looked like it had to be an AC compressor or something. And they were just sitting right there. So apparently they must have been fighting earlier. And you hear this grown ass woman, you couldn't see who she was, but you hear this grown ass woman tell her to push her off of it. And that's what she did. She pushed her off. And the way she fell, I thought the girl had hurt herself, but she didn't. She got right back up. So the dark skinned little girl didn't seem like she wanted to fight anymore, but the grown-ups was pressuring her to go over there and continue to physically harm her. So the light-skinned girl was bagging back, kept saying, leave me alone, leave me alone. And these bitches was on there, kept telling her, get her, get her, get her. And she started hitting on her. And then I saw something else that disturbed me too. You seen one of the little boys had his phone and recording this too. I said, you know what? That's like my grandma used to say, rest in peace. That's a scandalous, that's a shame that we as adults, that we supposed to claim we want better for our children, but yet not only we teaching our children to be violent, but you teaching our children down there to hate color. Because I can only critique what was in the video. I don't know what happened in the beginning, but I only critique what happened in the video. And a lot of people saying, that sound like jealousy to me. She was light skinned and you teaching her to hate her dark skin, to beat up on light skinned people because she is dark skinned and whatnot. And that probably was not the video was about, but you can't help but to think like that, because why other would a grown ass woman or women, because I think it's about two of them, would tell this dark-skinned little girl to constantly pulverize that light-skinned girl when she say, leave me alone. You already pushed me off. What more do you want? Okay? You already pushed me off. Bada bing, bada boom. You should be done. But these grown-ass women were sitting up here egging that girl to keep hitting her. So let me ask you this. Now you heard me say something about that, and the way I explain it. If you got any opinions on what you heard, what would you say about that?
First of all, I think, that's ignorant. Parents to be teaching their kids to bully each other. I don't know what happened before. I don't know who started it. I don't know if maybe the light-skinned girl might have been bullying the dark-skinned girl about her skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But other than teaching your kids to defend themselves, I don't think you should be egging them on to fight, especially if it was over. And I don't think, first of all, if it had something to do with the dark-skinned girl being taught to hate light-skinned people, that too is ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be teaching anyone to hate any skin color, and especially try to embed that type of thinking in a child. It's very disturbing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know what I would have said if I'd have saw that video, but if that is or was the case, then that was very ignorant of the adults.
And the only reason I brought it up because you were saying that we don't teach our kids about colorism, and you made a good point on that. But now let me ask you this: since you brought that up, at what age do you think, as a woman, as a black woman, that you should start teaching kids about the colorism things and the backlash people get for their skin tone, whether they dark or light skin? What age do you think is appropriate to start talking about that, and the reason I ask, because when they young, they mind so fragile, and they mimic what they see, and that could have been a possibility. What happened with the dark skinned girl pushing the light skinned girl off? They may have seen these women doing stuff like that, and they mimicking
True.
what they are seeing.
True.
So, what would be appropriate age? You as a woman, do you think that people or parents need to start teaching their children about colorism?
I'm not a parent, but I would say around middle school. And the reason why I say that is because me and a lot of other dark skinned women started to experience, we might not have known what it was or how to react to it, but me and other dark skinned girls experienced colorism in middle school. I say around 7th to 8th grade going into high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I that would be my suggestion. Because around that age, yeah, you're going through puberty and stuff, and young people might develop their own, what they find attractive, and it might change over the years. But if all that's in the social construct, or that's in the Black community, is light skin is fine, then more than likely you'll have a lot of Black people, in particular dark skinned Black people, growing up thinking that is or should be, or that is the standard of beauty.
Got you. I got you. What else can I say? I hear what you had to say, and a lot of stuff, I guess I can agree with you on, and consider me being a man. Like I said, the things how I treated dark skinned women, and I don't know. We preach and say we want this to change, but I don't really just seeing it changing anytime soon, because I hear the kids now when they got this thing called roasting or checking, whatever they call it nowadays, because I used to be a big fan of that when I was growing up. And if they was checking with somebody who's dark skinned, man, some of the jokes you would hear them say, you reflect on what you used to say, you be like, man, is that what we did by us checking other dark skinned folks saying the stuff we said about them? Did we push this on to them to say the stuff that they saying? Knowing 2018, man, shit getting raw and shit getting rough, And I just think about some of the stuff I was saying, calling people Choco, Smoke, Tar Baby, and all that shit. We were just kids. We did it for laughs. Well, of course, you grow out of that, and you don't really just do it anymore. I guess unless you're a comedian and you making jokes about it, But even then, I think sometimes we got to be careful on what we say about the dark skin. But speaking on the young generation, to hear them say stuff that they saying, and a lot of them cussing better than me. You just be like, wow, did we push this on them? Are they mimicking what we did when we was going to school? And to hear them say the stuff that they be saying, you just be like, maybe that was a bad move we made by sitting up here talking about other people's skin color. I mean, even though it's just jokes, but maybe still we made a bad reflection on these young generation, because we used to tease other people about their skin tone or whatnot. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But other than that, though, I'm glad that we was able to have this talk, and you was able to speak how you feel about the situation. I hope whatever happened to you in the past by people tease you or people rejecting you for your skin tone, you don't let that have effect on you as of today.
No, not really. I mean, I can't say it'll truly leave you as a dark skinned person. Like, you'll sometimes like, yeah, damn, that's fucked up, but it it doesn't weigh on you as much once you know and understand what it is with a lot of people. Also, I would like to recommend you and any of your viewers, if they haven't already, to check out Rashida Strober. She wrote a book about,
I know who you're talking about.
you
I know
know,
who you're talking about.
darkism and, you know, uh, basically, a dark skinned woman's struggle and things like. I can't get the names of the books. I think she wrote three. I can't get the name of them right now, but I recommend people go check them out. And her YouTube is Dark Skin TV, and she would probably love to have a conversation with you about this as well. She's been an activist for dark skin people since I believe the late 1990s. Um,
Yeah, I know.
so
I know who you speaking of. And quite frankly, I haven't heard her name in a minute. So, but I know who you're
yeah,
talking about, though. I know who you're talking about. And I mean,
yeah,
if she want to, hey, she more than welcome to. If she want to, if she see this and she want to speak on it, hey, she more than welcome. Hey, my platform is pretty much open to anybody. You ain't with the dumb shit, But my platform is pretty much open to anybody. So if she see this and she want to give her perspective on color struck, hey, she go right over there. I ain't got no problem with that. And no problem whatsoever. No problem.
absolutely.
But in that though, dear, if you got any last words you want to say about it, I give you the final words. If not, thank you so much. I was glad to hear your voice.
Okay. My last word is, educate your children, educate yourselves. Um, don't have them idolizing people that don't look like them. Teach your kids
Ooh.
any color, um, whether they're dark or light skinned, to love themselves and respect themselves, and don't fall for society standards on beauty because it ain't really even based off of Black people, period. But most definitely teach your children to love and respect themselves and to never ever have themselves walking around here feeling less than because of what shade they might be or what race they might be.
Awesome. Dear, you have a safe night. Again, thank you so much. And I'll upload this and we'll see what the audience thinks. One of y'all dark skinned and y'all having some of the same issues that she talked about, hey, you're more than welcome and come and speak your piece, Chris Thorns, I'm humble. Come on, like I said, if I could be one of the people who can make some kind of difference in a situation like this, I'm all down for it. So, yeah, if y'all hear this and you want to talk, it's all good. Now if I got a lot of y'all coming in and talk about, I want to say something about that, I'm going to do a live stream. But if it's only a few of y'all, we can do the same thing that me and this young lady did right here. Dear, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I'll be more than happy to do more.
No problem. Not a problem. You more than welcome to. No problem. You take care.
You too.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, y'all heard it for yourself. That was a dark-skinned woman. She saw the video and she said she'd be more willing to come on and speak her piece about it, and for the most part, I hear what she's saying. I really hear what she's saying, and y'all heard my thing, me dealing with dark-skinned women, I gave them a hard fucking time, I mean, I was petty as fuck with a lot of them. But them light-skinned women, I gave them motherfuckers a pass. They didn't have to go past jail or get out of jail free. On the Monopoly board, they go straight past jail, and that's how much opportunities I gave them motherfuckers. But, another lesson learned in my life that I was making a mistake in doing it, because people would do to you what you allowed them to do. And the light-skinned lady who I talked about in that video, I allowed her to keep doing the shit that she was doing to me, and she had no problem, kept walking in and kept doing the fuck shit that she was doing to me. But again, I can't really just get mad at her. I only get mad at myself because I allowed that shit to happen. But in that, y'all listen to this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all leave y'all thoughts, what y'all thought about, what did you agree with? What didn't you agree with? And hey, if y'all got something y'all want to say, come on and say it. But again, the link to the video that I did will be in the description box. Other than that, though, this your man, Chris Thorns. Thank y'all so much. Peace.